10 years ago, the Super Dragon was summoned. Android 18 asked what was happening. Zeno told Android 17 he could ask for anything. Future Zeno agreed that he could do whatever he wanted, and would grant it. The two Zenos asked what his wish would be. Goku watched in confusion. Android 17 wished to return all the universes that disappeared back to normal. Goku was surprised. A random god shouted in shock, while another god watched in sheer amazement. Krillin yelled in disbelief. Vegeta scoffed. Android 18 muttered that it could not be true. Future Zeno asked if 17 was fine with that wish. Present Zeno asked if he was absolutely sure. Android 17 replied that park rangers had busy lives, and told them to just do it already. The Grand Priest translated the wish into the language of the gods. In a flash, all the erased universes were completely restored. The massive dragon vanished. Years ago, the Tournament of Power took place. It was a massive multiversal battle royale, featuring the strongest warriors from across many universes. Countless events unfolded in the aftermath of that grand tournament. 2 weeks later, Goku and Vegeta ended up in different worlds. Eventually, a team called Jump Force was formed. They joined the team and met heroes like Naruto Uzumaki and Monkey D. Luffy. Together they defeated the mastermind behind those disasters and restored peace to the Jump worlds. 2 months after that, Goku and Vegeta faced the exiled Saiyan named Broly. They managed to defeat him using the power of fusion. Soon another threat emerged in the form of the wizard Moro. Goku ultimately defeated him by mastering Ultra Instinct. Later they confronted a bounty hunter from planet Cereal. During that battle, Goku fully dominated his Ultra Instinct while Vegeta achieved a new power called Ultra Ego. In the midst of those events, a warrior named Gas used a wish to become the strongest in the universe. However, he was ultimately killed by Frieza. Frieza also killed Elec, who was one of the brothers of Gas. Frieza then revealed a terrifying new transformation known as Black Frieza. With a single strike, he completely defeated both Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta. Afterward, Frieza recruited the remaining brothers of Gas into his galactic army. 1 year passed. Goku and Vegeta brought Broly to the planet of Beerus. They wanted to keep him safe from Frieza and train him to grow stronger. They hoped this would give them a fighting chance against the cosmic tyrant. Meanwhile, on Earth, Piccolo was busy training Pan. He eventually went to Gohan and told him to pick up his daughter and start training again. Gohan had actually been training in secret, but hid it from his master out of respect. Soon an android named Gamma-2 appeared. This machine proved to be stronger than Piccolo. Piccolo survived the encounter and followed the android. He discovered that the Red Ribbon Army had returned after being gone for a long time. Piccolo disguised himself as a guard to infiltrate their base and bring Gohan into the conflict. He and Pan devised a plan to force Gohan to unleash his hidden potential. Eventually, Gohan arrived at the Red Ribbon base and fought against Gamma-1. Gohan unleashed his ultimate state during the fierce battle. Piccolo found himself in deep trouble when Gamma-2 seemingly knocked him out. However, the Namekian warrior returned with a brand new transformation. He called this new form Orange Piccolo. With this immense power, he defeated Gamma-2 with great ease. The leader of the army, named Magenta, desperately wanted to activate Cell Max to destroy the heroes. Dr. Hito tried to stop him. Although Magenta died in the struggle, he managed to activate Cell Max ahead of schedule. The monstrous beast suddenly awakened and burst onto the surface to annihilate everyone. Defeating the monster proved incredibly difficult due to its overwhelming power. The only ones who could potentially stop it were Goku and Vegeta, but no one could contact them. Gamma-2 bravely sacrificed his life in an attempt to kill the beast, but only managed to weaken it. Piccolo tried his best to defeat Cell Max, but he was no match for the giant monster. Seeing his master fall caused Gohan to explode with raw rage. This intense fury triggered a new transformation. Gohan awakened a savage beast form. Thanks to this incredible new power, Gohan completely obliterated Cell Max and saved the Earth from destruction. Many months passed after the defeat of Cell Max. Goku finally met the reincarnation of the terrifying Majin Buu. This was the same monster he had defeated with the Spirit Bomb 10 years prior. Just as Goku had promised, he decided to train this young boy named Uub. The two of them left together to begin their intense training. Many more events occurred after their departure. 2 years later, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha found themselves entangled in a massive omniversal conflict. Goku Black had returned with a dark plan to restart every universe. In the end, Black met his demise when he was decapitated by the daughter of Hinata, Hyuga. Hinata was the wife of Naruto, who was an old friend Goku met during his time in the Jump Force. 5 months after that crisis, Goku had to face Michael Starkiller. This enemy was better known as Killman. Killman proved to be the most powerful villain Goku had ever faced aside from Beerus and Frieza. Goku finally defeated him by using an even stronger version of his mastered Ultra Instinct. He achieved this victory with the help of his rival Vegeta, and his new allies Kara Zor-El and Phora. 4 months later Goku fought someone claiming to be his sister from another universe. During this tragic battle Krillin was permanently killed. Despite the heavy loss Goku and his friends worked together to secure a hard-fought victory. 2 years later Goku and the remaining heroes had to fight against an organization known as the Imagined Order. It was a brutal and complicated war to save everyone in existence. Thanks to the sudden intervention of an unexpected ally they managed to defeat the leader and completely wipe out the entire organization. 2 more years passed in relative peace. Then a few simple words from future Zeno set a brand new epic story into motion. Deep inside the grand palace of Zeno the two rulers of everything sat together. Zeno sighed and mentioned that he had been quite bored over the last few years. Future Zeno agreed and pointed out that nothing truly exciting had happened lately. Zeno asked if his counterpart remembered the time they used Beerus and the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 as horses to play a game. Future Zeno said he remembered it well, and thought it was incredibly fun. He noted that it happened because they let Maris fight Moro even though angels were strictly forbidden from interfering in mortal affairs. Zeno looked at his friend, and said it still felt amazing to hang out with another version of himself from a different timeline. Future Zeno explained that he had to erase his entire timeline just to defeat Zamasu. Zeno admitted he originally thought his future self erased it because of something the mortals had done. Future Zeno clarified that it was not the fault of the mortals. He had to erase trillions of lives across 12 universes, because he had absolutely no other choice to stop the rogue god. Zeno comforted his friend, and assured him there was no other alternative. Zeno then changed the subject and said he really wanted Goku or Paradigma to come visit them. Future Zeno mentioned that Paradigma promised to visit, but was probably resting after all the crazy events she had been through. Zeno agreed, but still felt a visit would be a great idea. Future Zeno shared the exact same sentiment. Zeno then asked how things were going with the video game his counterpart was currently playing. Future Zeno replied that it was going well, and noted that Goku was one of the strongest characters in the game. Zeno nodded in understanding. Future Zeno asked if there was anything else interesting going on. Zeno mentioned that the friends of Goku were doing a great job protecting the Earth. He recalled how 7 years ago, they defeated an incredibly powerful threat named Cell Max. Future Zeno imagined that must have been quite the terrifying experience. Zeno agreed that it certainly looked that way. Future Zeno nodded in agreement. The two supreme beings continued tapping away on their tablets. Future Zeno asked if anything else caught his attention. Zeno explained that Goku was busy training Yu-Yu-B, who was the reincarnation of the evil Majin Buu. Future Zeno expressed his amazement. He thought it was strange that Yu-Yu-B did not exist in his own timeline. He guessed it was probably because Buu had been completely erased in his future. Zeno explained that Goku actually asked King Yama to reincarnate Buu as a good mortal. Zeno thought it was a very kind and smart choice. Future Zeno found the whole concept to be absolutely incredible. They played on their tablets in silence for a few more moments. Zeno groaned and complained that he was still incredibly bored. Future Zeno echoed the exact same feeling of total boredom. Zeno asked what they should do to pass the time. Future Zeno admitted he had no idea. Zeno sighed in utter disappointment. Future Zeno suddenly said he wished there could be another tournament of power. Zeno gasped and asked if he really just suggested another tournament of power. Future Zeno hesitantly confirmed his thought. Zeno cheered loudly and declared it was a perfect idea. He announced that they were going to prepare a brand new tournament of power. Future Zeno asked if they should keep the exact same rules as the previous tournament. Zeno thought about it and noted that the universes that participated before now had a much higher mortal level. He decided they should mix things up. Zeno explained that the new tournament would offer the exact same reward. The winner would get a wish from the Super Dragon Balls. However, he revealed a major change. When a universe lost all its fighters, they would no longer be erased from existence. Instead, they would simply be sent back to their home universe with a special consolation prize. They would be given a special realm where they could train and surpass their limits to increase their power levels. Zeno also decided that items would be allowed this time. He imagined that the fighters had grown incredibly strong over the last decade and wanted to see everything they had to offer. Future Zeno agreed that watching a tournament with entirely new rules sounded incredibly fun. Zeno smiled and said his future self was totally right. Zeno stated that they needed to summon all the gods of destruction and their corresponding angels from the universes that participated last time. It would act as a grand rematch for everyone involved. Future Zeno loved the idea of a massive multiversal rematch, and called it hilarious. Zeno told him they needed to get started right away and plan every single detail. They both raised their tablets and sent out a cosmic summons to all the deities. Several hours passed. All the summoned gods of destruction and their angels stood nervously inside the grand hall of the palace. The grand priest stepped forward to address the divine gathering. He welcomed the gods and angels and explained that they had been called to discuss a matter of utmost importance decided by the two Zenos. He then politely gave the floor to the supreme rulers. Zeno happily announced that they invited everyone there to discuss a brilliant idea created by his future counterpart. Future Zeno explained that the gods were probably getting quite bored lately. He revealed that he thought of something that would definitely catch their attention. The two Zenos spoke in perfect unison, and declared that they were going to hold a brand new tournament of power. Beerus and Jampa let out loud shouts of pure terror. The rest of the gods and angels stared in complete shock. Kus stepped forward nervously. She politely told the Grand Zeno that it might not be a good idea. She reminded him that the previous tournament caused massive tension, because everyone was terrified of being permanently erased. Gauss nodded deeply and agreed with her logic. Vados casually mentioned that she had a lingering feeling they would eventually want to host another tournament. Jampa angrily yelled at Vados and demanded to know if she had kept this a secret for 10 entire years. Campari calmly stated that none of them truly expected this sudden announcement. Beerus frantically bowed and apologized for interrupting. He nervously suggested that they should perhaps delay the tournament of power for another day in the distant future. Zeno stared down at the trembling god of destruction and coldly asked who decided that. Beerus completely froze in absolute fear. Zeno relaxed his tone and told them to listen closely. He understood that the gods were constantly on edge about new threats after dealing with villains like Goku Black and Geno. However, he pointed out that the multiverse was currently at peace. Because of this calm period, they could easily hold the tournament without any major problems. Future Zeno chimed in and told the deities to calm down. He promised them that the new tournament of power would not feature the same strict rules as the first one. All the gods asked what he meant by that. Zeno happily explained that the rules were completely different this time. The universes that lost all their fighters would not be completely wiped from existence. They would merely be disqualified from the event. Once a universe was eliminated, the fighters could choose to immediately return home, or stay in the stands to watch the rest of the grand tournament. Future Zeno added that the ultimate prize would remain the exact same. The winner would earn a wish from the Super Dragon Balls. He strictly warned them not to make a selfish wish. All the gods bowed in deep respect and promised to obey. Zeno told the gathering that they had exactly 48 hours in their respective universes to recruit a team of 10 powerful fighters. He mentioned that they were free to recruit the exact same warriors who fought in the previous tournament if they wanted to. Ro asked if they were also allowed to recruit brand new people who had never participated before. Zeno told the Supreme Kai that it was entirely up to their own discretion. They could bring whoever they wanted to represent their universe. Beerus nervously muttered to himself. He desperately hoped that Goku and his friends had been training hard over the last decade. Whis smiled calmly. The angel assured his god that they would definitely have a fighting chance considering the massive power the mortals of Earth had recently achieved. Zeno clapped his hands and officially concluded the meeting. He gave them 48 hours and wished them all good luck in finding their 10 perfect fighters. The terrified gods and amused angels quickly departed and rushed back to their respective universes to begin their search. Once the grand hall was completely empty, Zeno suggested that they go back to playing their games while they waited. Future Zeno eagerly agreed to the plan. The two supreme beings happily sat back down and resumed playing on their tablets. 48 hours is not a lot of time to find 10 warriors. Will Beerus be able to gather a strong enough team to win the ultimate prize? Find out in the next part.